children of the night. What music they make.
They're all gonna laugh at you!
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
What's that?
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash you a bit.
And we're live once again, this time with, I think it's episode 156, which is kind of ridiculous to think about. We're going to be talking about the Mexican Chow Down Fest, the platform. I almost forgot what it was called there for a second. I'm Jason Brandt, joined as always by Jack PC.
Hola.
Hunter Che.
I think it's Spanish, not Mexican. But whatever. We're Americans. It's all the same to us.
Well, you know, the non-American movie, whatever.
They speak Spanish.
The international gem.
There we go.
And we have recurring guest, horror author Tim Meyer again.
Hey there, what's going on?
We just can't seem to get rid of you.
I know, keep coming back. But you keep inviting me, so it's really your fault. So
Yeah.
It is. I drink too much while we're doing this.
We can't quit you. Now get in the tent.
So, as usual, we got a ton of stuff to talk about, but before we do, anybody have any news or announcements?
Nope.
I'm dying slowly in this sweat lodge I call an attic. How are you guys?
Ask me how happy I am that my heat pump broke last week, and now it's in the 80s. Awesome. So, we're just sweating, you know.
I put my air conditioner on today, actually. It's pretty nice.
Mine's on the floor right over there.
There's no
I gotta
spring
carry it
anymore.
down.
There's no spring anymore. It's just winter and the heat, and then all of a sudden one day you need an air conditioner.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. So, hopefully, my my heat pump can get fixing because this sucks. All right, well, then, how about some drinking rules?
All right, here we go. Every week, here are the rules that none of you follow. If Jason, no, we'll go with Jack first. If Jack says prison, class, or down, drink up. If I say social poop or pipe, drink it up. If Jason says random, cannibal, and corn, Tim, you have words this week.
Oh,
Political,
wow.
love, and pit. And the bonus words, if any of us say eat, subtitles, or day. Oh, subtitles is going to be a good one. Have a drink.
Can you say poop again, just like you did?
Poop.
Oh, you had a much higher.
Poop.
There was just a surprising amount of poop in that movie.
There's one of the most amazing shitting scenes you'll ever see.
I actually questioned, was that real?
I definitely did a double take. I was like, what did I just watch?
Yeah, why waste special effects when it's something that can easily be done?
It's one of those scenes where you're like, something's going to happen, but that was not what I anticipated.
Feed that actor hamburgers and green apple. Tell him to get ready.
Spread it.
So straight from shit talk to the news. What do we have, Jackie?
I'm going to start off with some really good news, although I don't know how many of you guys are in the loop on this yet, but anybody here watch What We Do in the Shadows, the TV show?
I have not.
I actually don't.
I started
love the
watching
movie.
it, but I, for some reason, stopped after 2 episodes.
So
Wow.
the first season is good. It kept getting better. Second season was better than the first. It's I love it. Mark Hamill was in it like last week. It was so good.
Wow.
They've FX has greenlighted a season 3. So if you're out there and you're a fan of What We Do in the Shadows TV show, season 3 will be coming.
No, I plan to binge the hell out of that. It's on my list. I'm just going through all these other shows, man. It's
Same.
crazy.
I have just so much to watch.
I just finished Community, and the last season of Community was on Yahoo, so I didn't see all of them because it was hard to get at Yahoo and everything.
Right.
There's an episode based off the Sting, and one of the guys from What We Do in the Shadows is like the grifter teacher in the episode, and I was like, as soon as I heard his voice, like I had this reaction. I was like, wait, I know that guy. Oh, he was in other stuff.
You know, I really that's high on my list. Unlike The Strain when that came out, that was low on my list, and I'll never get to
I
it.
stopped watching that.
Yeah,
Same.
the
I
Julie
did-
Strain.
Did you guys watch that?
I would watch that.
It's called. Did you watch that vampire show with the guy from Zach from Saved by the Bell with the little
What?
girl? It was on like FX or something.
Really?
It was a one season. It was actually decent. It was.
I didn't even know that existed.
No.
I can't remember what the hell it was called.
Oh, I know what you're
Kapowski
talking
in it?
about. It was based on that Justin Cronin book.
Oh, The Passage?
The Passage.
Yeah.
Yes. It was on Fox. Yeah.
And it was decent. It was okay. And then they ended it, and it was kind of a bold ending, and they could have kept going, but they got canceled. So, but it was enough closure for.
That's a big book. I remember.
Yeah.
That was a
Very-
heavy duty march.
Very big and very long.
And there's 3 of them.
Yeah, I didn't get past the first one.
You didn't make it through The Passage?
No, I made it through, but I didn't continue my journey thugh the passage.
Me either.
Big
And
and
I-
long, huh? All right.
That's what she said.
No. Remember how last week we said that there's going to be a Scream 5 and that Nev Campbell might be she's not on board yet, but she's interested in talking to them.
Mhm.
Well, here's something that won't be happening. They're rebooting The Craft, and Nev Campbell's not interested in being a part of it. Blumhouse is rebooting it,
Yeah.
but it's not with any hard feelings. She said, with the new Craft, we'll see. For me, I didn't really want to be a part of it, but I think they've got a very interesting take, and I hope they get a chance to do something great. I think the timing might have been challenging with COVID, but hopefully they'll be able to finish the film. So that sounds like she's best wishes, but no thank you.
I hope Rachel True is going to be in it.
Which
I
one
want
was
Veruca
that?
Salt or whatever her name is.
Oh, Faruza Balk.
Yeah.
Veruca Salt.
Was she the extra,
So
the extra goth one?
Rachel True was the African American one.
Oh,
Who
okay.
was just gorge and still gorge.
Are they going to be able to do the 90s goth shit now? Is that still relevant in any way? Or are they going to have to change the
It's
aesthetic?
just called emo now.
Goth culture is
Is
still
emo
alive
still
and
a
well.
thing? I don't really
We're
see
ju-
it anymore.
We're just
But I
too
also
old.
don't leave.
Yeah, it's there. Trust me.
I hang out at like old people bars now, so I guess I'm just not.
Exactly. You kids get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's still alive. Trust me. As long as there are teenage girls, it will exist in one form or another.
Very true.
Wednesday Adam posts on Twitter and Instagram will never go away.
No.
All right, the last piece of news is the best piece of news. I love this. Jason Momoa and Peter Dinklage are getting back together, reuniting. Feels so good. For a movie called, let me see what the hell the name of this is. Good, Bad, and Undead. Jason Momoa is playing a vampire, and Peter Dinklage is playing Van Helsing. And let me read the synopsis. Dinklage will play Van Helsing, lasting a long line of vampire hunters. He develops an uneasy partnership with a vampire, Momoa, who has taken a vow to never kill again. Together, they run a scam from town to town where Van Helsing pretends to vanquish the vampire for money. When a massive bounty is put on the vampire's head, everything in this dangerous world full of monsters and magic is now after them.
Wow. That's a lot.
Listen, Dinklage and Momoa together, I love this. I'm psyched.
Did you say this is a movie or a series?
Movie.
Movie. Hey,
Cool.
that sounds cool. If Dinklage has to stab him through the heart, he's not going to do it. He's not going to get up there.
They're not only starring in it, they're producing it. So,
Ooh.
Into it.
Hey, Peter Dinklage, I'll watch. He's fascinating to watch.
So good.
Jason
movie-
Momoa is a dish.
That's what Lisa Bonet thinks. What was that movie Dinklage did, non-horror, where he was like at the train, living in an abandoned train station?
Yeah, I forget the
Station
name of
Master
it.
or something.
Something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
such a good movie.
I've never seen it, but I've heard nothing but good things.
It's
I-
amazing.
I've never seen it, but he did a biotopic on Hervé Villages.
No, are you serious?
Swear to God, he did.
Oh god damn! I need that movie in my life.
What are you talking about?
Plane.
Tattoo from Fantasy Island. He played him in a movie about his life.
Oh, did not know.
Where's the plane with the bitches coming, boss? You promised.
Hey, you do a pretty good tattoo.
Shut up, Tattoo.
All right, that's all I got for news.
All right.
All right, let's jump into a little bit of horror curation.
We
have such sights to show you.
As our esteemed guest, Tim, please tell us you watched something good, because I've got some stuff on my list.
I watched some things. I watched some things that some might consider good. Probably not many people, but
There we go. You're our niche guy.
oh my god. The first thing I watched was Contagion because it was on HBO, and
that's-
since we're basically living through it, I decided to watch it to see how accurate it was. I actually saw it in theaters when it first came out, but I really didn't remember a whole lot of it, and so I went back, I watched it, and it's like scary accurate up to a certain point, and then the disease or the virus in that is a lot more deadlier than the one we're currently dealing with. So it kind of goes off in a different direction, but it was like surprisingly accurate, and even a lot of the terms that they were using, like social distancing and a lot of things that we hear on the news now, it's all in that movie. So it was kind of a fascinating watch, and I appreciate it a lot more now.
Who directed that? Or
I think it was Soderbergh.
Soderbergh, because I saw a quote from him that said, in retrospect, he should have made it even like more dramatic, like or worse. He said it actually it's worse than what they thought.
Yeah,
Like they were going for accuracy,
right.
And I think he just said like the like America in general is reacting even worse than he thought that they would.
Yeah, that's actually true to a certain degree. Yeah, well, again, the virus in that movie is more deadlier. I think it killed like 30% of the people it infected. I think COVID is at like 7 right now, around there. So it was definitely more deadlier. So I guess people were reacting more scared than they are in real life. So yeah, that's probably why the difference. But yeah, you're right. Like people are crazy now. It's insane.
Yeah.
I know
wrong
I've
with it.
seen that, but I'm looking at the cover and all the people in it. I have zero recollection of the movie.
Yeah, it was weird. I completely wiped it, and I know we saw it in the movie theater. And as I was watching it, things were coming back, but I don't think at the time I really appreciated it for what it was, because it's really a strange movie because there are so many characters. There are like 12 different POVs, and some of the characters only have like 2 scenes, really, like 2 or 3 scenes. And so it's just a lot packed into a short amount of time. So it's really hard to get like attached to the characters. But I think all the actors and actresses that were in it were phenomenal. They all did great jobs. And I don't know. I definitely like it a lot more than I did.
Everybody remembers Gwyneth Paltrow in the restaurant from that movie.
Yeah.
She's the reason why I didn't want to see it. But then my wife goes, "Oh, it's Kate Winslet's in it." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, Kate Winslet is great in it. And Jude Law is really good in it too. He has like a smaller part, but his acting in that movie is
He's the reporter, right?
yeah. He's a report. He's like the guy who leaks all the nonsense out there, and he has like 12 million he builds up like 12 million followers, and he keeps telling them to take like this drug that may or may not be effective. And
Hydroxychloroquine?
No, I forget what it was, but it might not even be a real drug, but. Yeah, he like leaks it out there that this is what works, and he pretends that he's sick and then heals himself with it. So he makes like millions of dollars off of it, and it's really messed up. But
that's why I always question things that people spout when they're in the limelight. I'm like, I don't trust your motives.
Exactly.
I want to go back to why you did not want to see a movie starring the creator of the vagina candle.
Seems right up your alley.
Wait, somebody want to get me that?
I think you'd have stock in our company.
God almighty.
Jack, what do you got?
I went back and watched the original Omen from 1976. I had seen this once or twice way back in the day, and with all this time on our hands, I'm going back and revisiting things. And this was a great one to go back and see. You always go back and watch The Exorcist and some of the other classics, but this was one I never got around to. So I watch it. Gregory Peck, Lee Remick, David Warner's in it. And this movie's, I don't know, when was the last time you guys saw this movie? A lot of fun, really good actors. It was before everything in this movie was such a trope. So
Yeah.
it was able to get away with stuff, but it's a well-paced movie, not any slash of like every time there is a kill, it's spectacular. All the kills of this movie are awesome.
The glass pane kill is
Yeah.
glorious. I don't know, it's maybe 5 years ago I watched that, 10 years? I can't remember.
Might be like 5 years for me. I own it. It's somewhere in here.
It's been probably about the same for me. The hanging scene always gets me. Even just the way she talks right before she jumps, it's crazy.
Yeah, like I said, it's probably been 20 years since I've seen this movie, so it was way overdue, and I had a blast. So what happened is I have Stars as a cable channel. But I downloaded the app, so now like all these movies appeared that I can like watch anytime I want, and that was one of them. It was without a doubt. It's like, oh, damn, I'm gonna watch this. So there's a few other ones like that I'm like, oh, cool. I'm paying for this stupid subscription. I might as well get my money's worth.
So you have Stars?
Yeah, I have DirecTV, so I have a bunch of cable channels, and so I get the apps for them. And I'm in the old antiquated. I have a rotary phone, cable channels.
Stars, holy crap.
Dial-up modem.
Tell us when you got to check your beeper.
Can't make a phone call and be on the internet at the same time.
Ma, get off the phone.
Trying to watch porn.
Oh, Jesus.
You have your magazines.
There's the priest who gets impaled with the lightning rod. I
Yep.
heard a thing about how they shot that scene afterwards. I looked it up. That's an awesome scene too. But it's so funny how everything that happens in that movie became like so tired later on. Like, so many movies just took the music from that, the whole possessed thing. It just became, they created an industry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they always take the stuff that is not what made the movie amazing. They just take the shit that they remember from it, and that's why their movies are always like just the worst imitations.
Yeah, you got freaking Gregory Peck leading that movie.
Yeah, the next series you do, Jason, take like The Exorcist, the Omen. There's like 3 or 4. It'll be much better than what you're doing to yourself now.
I'm gonna have to pick a series that's better because I'm losing my will to live. I was looking at that Blackwell Ghost you talked about, so maybe.
Yeah, that one you'll like, and they're quick. They're short.
I might. We'll see. What do you got?
Oh, I'm going to blame this on Steve Barnard. So him and I were social distancing between countries, as we do, and watching some horror shorts. And he's such an amiable guy. How can you say no? He said, you should really watch Exorcism at 60,000 feet. Now, my wife at the time was there as well, and she heard that. And oh, we're watching that right now. So as soon as we get off with him, we put that on. I will tell you this. Here is the cast. First of all, the movie is exactly what the title is. It has Lance Henriksen as the pilot on his last run, who is drinking heavily and covered in tattoos.
Is he awake?
Sometimes. He's 80 years old now, by the way.
That's an excuse to be tired.
Bai Ling as the stewardess, who is out of her mind. Most I've ever seen her talk in the movie. She's joined by Matthew Moy, who you remember as Little Han from Two Broke Girls. So they are the flight attendants.
No, I don't remember anything from Two Broke Girls except
Oh,
for
come
Two
on.
Girls.
All right. Well, Kelly
Never
Maroney's
watched an
in
episode of it. Huh?
it. So Kelly Maroney is in it.
Who's
Chopping Mall and Night of the Comet, the blonde.
Mm.
Billy Mosley is in it.
Nice.
Damn.
And my favorite, a woman whose name is Gin and Tonic.
No.
I kid you not. So that's her real name, by the way, or whatever her stage name is. But it's like there's a terrorist with a fake nose, and there's like a big muscle builder and a tiny little t-shirt. Like the cast in this, you're like, what the hell is this?
Kevin J. O'Connor? Holy crap.
Yeah, the cast is crazy. And I don't know if the producers have their families at gunpoint somewhere in a hangar. But as Steve explained, it's like Airplane meets The Exorcist. And he's kind of right.
Is it funny?
For the first 15 minutes, it was funny. But then it had another hour and 15 to go. And
That's where they lost you.
it was rough. My wife, who insisted we watch this, left at the hour mark. So she didn't even care anymore. And I'm like, well, I just paid like $6 for this. I'm going to watch this to the end.
Yikes.
Look here. This is a great movie not to watch alone. You need to watch it with people who have maybe smoked something, popped something, or are drinking something. And you guys are going to have a great time with it. It's an SBIG. It's in that kind of category right there.
Gotcha. Never
Is it
watch
like
alone.
Is it like
No.
2020, 2019? Like
2020.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. And you got to see the set for the interior of this plane. I mean, soap operas do a better job from the 70s.
Is there an actual like priest on the plane and a possessed
There sure
person?
is. And lots of possessed people. I honestly can't tell you what the end game was.
Do they puke pea soup into the barf bags?
No, in people's faces, like directly in their faces. So
Classy
like people
movie.
just looking on, just going, "Ugh, ugh," like overreactions. Like, okay. So,
Sounds
give it-
amazing.
Yeah.
Give it a whirl. Maybe it would have been better if it flew at 30,000 feet. I don't know.
Was it better than Velocipaster?
Sure. I'm going to say with the cast, yes.
Really?
Mm.
I was just fascinated by the cast. I mean, I'm like going, Adrian Barbeau, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of cast, there was a pretty decent one in the immortal Children of the Corn 5.
The immortal.
What was the Fields of Terror, of course.
Still going with that.
First movie, I believe, with Eva Mendes in it. And
Ooh,
she's
no
one of the
way.
stars. Yes. She's looking very nice. And
Very
has
nice.
Fred Williamson in it. And it had David Carradine in it.
Oh,
So
Jesus.
yeah, it starts. I'm like, holy shit, I could
Sounds
watch
good.
this. I'm in. Ooh. Ooh.
I mean, the cast couldn't save it.
Oh. It once again is not connected in any way to the other movies. Some, 20 somethings, maybe younger, get lost in the cornfield and find some town in Nebraska or wherever the hell they are. And, there's a cult for He Who Walks Behind the Rose that's not related to the other cult, as best I can tell. And it's run by
difficult.
David Carradine, who is not drunk. So, yes.
Hold on.
Look, for a David Carradine performance prior to Kill Bill, him being sober, you're ahead of the game.
Do you think
So-
he was sober in this?
He delivers some dialogue that I did not follow. Fred Williamson's great. Eva Mendes, it's definitely her first movie. Her character makes no sense. I'm not entirely certain what happened at different points in the movie. And it's the fifth movie, Children of the Corn. It's not good.
This
It's
is
not good.
fascinating. Like, who did we have on the last one? Was it Naomi Watts,
Yes,
Yeah,
Naomi
we
Watts
got
was in 4. Yeah.
David Carradine. So this is kind of like an interesting 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon kind of thing, where we're discovering
There
who-
are more in 6 I'll bring up. I will
nice.
give this one thing. They were able to go back and get actors that like Fred Williamson, I would never have expected to see in a Children of the Corn movie, and they managed to
No.
get him. And I don't know
Fred-
who was doing the
Fred
casting.
Durst, maybe.
And they were able to find some stars younger in their careers. So I will say too, it's not a good movie by any stretch, but they're a smidge better than I expected, which is not saying anything.
Yeah, well, you expected a turd burger, so
So, not
that's
great.
pretty amazing.
Tim, what you got?
Good question.
Just make something up.
All right.
Tell us the plot to one of your books.
I watched. I'm not gonna do that. With Joe Bob last week, I watched Exorcist 3 for like the 500th time because I love that movie. It's so good. I'm such a fan of the book Legion, and I don't know. This movie is like on par with the book. I think it's great. I think the acting again is incredible. Was it George C. Scott?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, so good. And just it was just, I don't know. It's like one of my favorite horror movies to watch.
You know, we watched it together, and we were all saying it seems a weird choice to watch on that because A, his interruptions take you out of it, and B,
Yeah.
we're watching together and yakking like fools the entire time. So
Yeah. There's no action in that movie. It's just a surprise for Joe Bob.
Yeah,
Like, until the end, there's nothing.
it's true. Yeah, it's like it's very slow, but there's some really good jump scares in there. And then my favorite part is Brad Dourif.
Yeah.
Just those monologues are out of this world good.
The thing about that movie is it's like a quiet, dialogue driven, performance driven thing. And then at the end there, all of a sudden it's almost like one of the later Nightmare on Elm Street movies, special effects coming out of the floor. Like it really doesn't fit with the rest of the movie that they tacked on, that the exorcism at the end.
Yeah.
I think it makes the movie more memorable, to be honest, because nothing happens.
Tim, do you like this better than The Exorcist?
No, I actually think the first Exorcist is like one of the best horror movies ever made.
Funny,
so-
I still prefer 3 to the original.
Really?
Not by like a huge margin. I
Yeah.
love watching George C. Scott. That guy is just...
Yeah, George C. Scott. Like all the performances are great, and it has like some creepy moments, like when the famous nurse scene where she's locking everything up, and it's just like a still shot, and the person comes behind with that scissor thing.
Oh yeah.
And then there's another scene later where there's just like this old lady crawling on the ceiling. Like I love that scene so much. But yeah, I don't know. I enjoy it. But still, the first Exorcist, it was probably one of the first movies that literally scared me. And I saw it probably when I was about like 12 years old. And I couldn't sleep for like a week. So
I was more with Joe Bob on this. His opinion of this movie and mine were the same. I was like, yeah, this movie's okay, but it's very convoluted. It's uneven. It's okay. I don't hate it or anything, but I don't love it. I'll watch it every once in a while, but I don't
It's
think
definitely convoluted. There's
Yeah.
no denying that.
Yeah.
But
The story
it's a fascinating movie in that there are just people who freaking love this movie and other people who don't even know it exists.
Yeah, I feel sorry for those people.
I had
Yeah.
no idea that the reason they intercut Dourif with Jason Miller at the end is because Jason Miller had wet brain and couldn't remember his lines.
Dude, wet
That-
brain.
yeah,
that was
that's
we learned a
blew
new
me away.
term, I think. I never heard of wet brain.
My uncle had wet brain, so I've been saying that for like 20 years.
and Patrick Ewing's in it as the Angel of Death, so you can't go wrong with that.
And as
And
we
we-
mentioned it, we see on the news he had COVID-19 like at that moment.
Oh, really?
I feel like
Jeez.
Jason flashed it up on the screen.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, it was fun. But it was not. So the second movie he showed, I don't remember what it was called anymore. Deadbeat by Dawn or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I checked out after Exorcist 3.
It seemed like a really great movie, but I was just way too freaking tired. to
Yeah.
make it
Yeah,
through.
no. I'll revisit that this week.
Yeah,
They got
for
to start that show a little bit earlier for our the East Coast people.
Like one more hour.
yeah,
And Joe Bob talks for at least an hour every movie, so
I know.
it's like
Which
a long marathon.
I actually sometimes enjoy just watching him talk about stuff more than I like the actual movie itself.
Oh yeah.
Of course. Oh,
With
yeah.
this movie though, Exorcist 3, he kept at the end, he kept coming in every 5 minutes.
Yeah, he did. He was coming in quick.
Shut up, Joe.
Yeah.
With me? Well, Jason, I took a page out of your book and I went back and I watched Damien the Omen 2.
Oh, all right.
Wow.
Stealing my thunder.
Yeah.
You know why I stole your thunder? Because when I saw my options, there's a bunch, and you can relate to this, I'm sure. I'm looking at a bunch of the things I've had in my queue forever. I'm like, do I want to watch that tonight? No. And I'm like, I am really hot on the Omen right now because I just watched it. I don't really want to watch Damien because I don't know if I've ever even seen the whole Damien. I don't know if I've seen it at all. I just remember it took place in a military academy. So I was like, screw it. I'm watching Damien. And I was like, maybe I'll talk about it this week. Maybe I'll save it for next week. And then whatever. So I watched it and I'm really glad I did because we have all seen so many bad sequels. And this is not a great movie, but it's so much better than so many other sequels that you see. that you have to cut it slack.
You don't have to talk to me about that.
Yeah, you know exactly. It's like it's like the typical sequel. They just try and kind of hit the same beats as the first movie. Try and make the kills more spectacular. It's not as well written. There's not as many good characters. The story's weaker, but there are some really good kills. The kid who plays 13-year-old Damien looks perfect. He does an okay job acting. He kind of comes to terms with the fact that he's the devil partway through the movie. Could have been a little bit more dramatic and things like that. There's a really memorable elevator death in it. There's a guy who dies under the ice, and there's some other it became way more of a formula horror movie. But let me see. William Holden is the lead, and Lee Grant is Lee
Grant.
The father from The Omen. It's his brother, and he owns Thorn Industries. And ironically, Lance Henriksen plays the drill sergeant at the military school.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Nice.
Young. He's probably 48.
Yeah. Right. So it was fun to see the sequel that lower in quality, but compared to so many other sequels, it's far superior to most sequels, especially back then. And I think the same guy did the music. So there's anytime the devil was doing something, there was the ho 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 ho,
Yep.
And this time instead of dogs, it was crows that would show up.
I don't
We know
remember
someone
this.
who likes that.
Yeah, right. So Omen, top notch. Omen 2, worth a look if you're looking
Lesser
for
notch.
lesser notch, but if you're looking for a couple of movies to watch in a row, get these under your belt. And next time around, maybe I'll talk about another Omen movie.
Oh.
The third one has what's his name? Jurassic Park.
Let's save it. Let's save it for
Damn it!
Sam
5
Neill?
minutes from now. Yes.
I do not remember anything you just described from that movie. I know I watched it, but I am not recalling anything.
Jason, it was
You might have been drunk.
It was the exact same thing for me. I'm like, I don't know if I've ever seen this movie or not. I know I saw The Final Conflict, which I'll talk about in 5 minutes, with Sam Neill. I saw it, I think, once. And so that one, there were moments where I was like, I don't remember this. I remember that. So with this one, I basically remember the commercial. So I'm not exactly sure if I saw it or if I just remember the commercials.
Well, check it out.
But now I've seen it.
All right, Hunter.
All right. I went to this little thing we use every now and then, Shudder. I was like, oh, what do you got here? Now, a movie that I watched, I'm going to save for next week, Phenomena, Dario Argento.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm saving for next week because I have a lot to say about that. But this was a 2019 movie. Have you seen the thumbnail for Z?
Yes.
Yeah.
I almost watched it.
Yeah, this is about a boy, I think he's 6 years old boy, and he has an imaginary friend he calls Z. And guess what? Z isn't like my kid's imaginary friend. Z seems to be pretty bad. We can't, my wife and I can't resist imaginary friend movies because my oldest daughter especially had one for 3 years that just freaked us the hell out. So, hey, why is this over here? I don't know. Christine put it over there. Stop saying that.
Jesus.
So if you've experienced this as a parent, these kind of movies kind of get this atavistic fear that you have of just strange kids doing insane, strange stuff. This movie's surprisingly pretty good. I think, and this is a perfect Shudder movie or Netflix or a perfect streaming movie. Nice movie you probably never heard of. Just a little pop it in, discover something cool. Nice hour-and-a-half ride. Really, it's well made, and all the acting is pretty good. So you could do a hell of a lot worse than Z.
All right. I'm not sure if I've added that to my list or not.
Bring your imaginary friend with you when you go see it. And hold his cold dead hand.
I like to snuggle with my imaginary friend.
So Tim, I take it your son doesn't have one, right?
No. Not that we're aware of, anyway.
It's freaky.
If he says it's Jody the pig, then you have to worry.
I remember when my younger daughter got one. So I'm like, oh, what's yours name? Gummy. But luckily, she didn't hang out on the Gummy for too long. But Christine lived with us for years.
That's weird.
Oh,
Lovely. Speaking of
she's my
creepy
child.
kids,
yeah.
Children of the Corn 666.
Oh boy.
Nice.
Isaac's Return.
The number of the beast.
This one had two more people in it that surprised me. Nancy Allen shows up
Oh wow.
about halfway through, and it's a pretty prominent part. And Stacy Keach is also in it.
TV's Mike Hammer.
Yeah.
You know, they weren't in it a lot, but when they were, it elevated the movie, as you might expect.
Hmm.
So this one brings back, what the hell was his name? I already can't remember. Isaac. So when I watched the first one, and I hadn't seen it in forever, and I remembered that, while watching it, you noticed that the kid, the main one, Isaac, who's like the preacher, I don't know, the leader kid, he never dies. He kills another kid, and then he's just out of the movie. And it took whatever this was, 15 years till 666 when somebody was like, hey, maybe we should bring him back.
So they kind of Breaking Bad at it. Where Breaking Bad, they used to do something in season 1 without really knowing what they were going to do with it, and then like 4 seasons later, they'd be like, "Wait a minute, you know, we did this. Like we left ricin in the outlet. You know, let's use that."
Same level of writing as Breaking Bad.
Oh, boy. I'm sure.
So I will say, of all the sequels, this has the most interesting plot. It is the only one so far that's a direct sequel to the first movie. Isaac is back. There's a girl in the first one who's pregnant, and her boyfriend sacrifices himself, I don't know, halfway through the movie to He Who Walks Behind the Rose. That child that was in her belly is now the main actor of this, who comes back to Gatlin, trying to figure out her roots. So, okay, I'm interested in this. It's not good.
You're like in the middle.
It's not
I got more to
good.
go.
Yeah, I have 4 more movies to watch. I'm gonna say this is the worst one. This or 5. I'm not sure. If Nancy Allen, who by the way was like 48 or 49 in this and looked amazing. She looked better than she did in the RoboCop years. She looks great.
She's living right.
All
All that corn.
So they bring about a different thing in this, where He Who Walks Behind the Rose is not some unseen god. It now is inhabiting people and giving them telekinetic abilities, which we've seen in other things, in other movies in the series, but none of them were the god. I don't know. I don't know.
Sound like you're losing the will to live.
Man, this one was rough. There were kids riding dirt bikes through the cornfield, like chasing people and giggling. And okay, you've got cornfields, you got scary kids. How goddamn hard is it to make a movie creepy? You know, just see. I just
kids alone should do it.
I'm so done.
You do it by accident.
So yeah, there you go. Children of the Corn 666.
Good Lord.
Tim, please.
I'm looking up all these Children of Corn movies, and I did not realize there's like 12 of them. Holy
There's
shit.
so many. I think the next one I have to watch is the remake, but I could be wrong.
No, there's Revelation.
Oh, good.
Which looks really good. Then there's the remake. Then there's Genesis. And then there's Runaway, and then apparently there's another remake coming in 2021. So you got a lot to watch, man.
We should dedicate a show to new 2021.
God damn it! So what's next? You say?
Oh,
Revelation.
Yeah, Revelation.
Great. Unfortunately, my box set I have, this was the last movie in it, so I'm going to have to start individually spending money on this.
I'm not sure you want to. It came out in 2001, and it just looks like a classic 2001 straight to DVD special.
Hopefully you can't find it and you'll be saved.
And not one of these. Oh, Michael Ironside's in it, so there you go.
Nice.
I'm telling you, they're doing the casting isn't bad.
As the priest, so you can't really go wrong with that.
You know
Can't
what? I
wait.
think I saw that one. I
Really?
think I saw that. Yeah.
We should do a Patreon to get people to pay for these.
Seriously, it hurts me more knowing I'm spending money on this. Like, it's not just that my soul is being eroded; my bank account is too.
Hey, that's what that stimulus check is for.
Children of the Corn.
Oh Jesus!
Oh,
Well,
please tell me you watched something good.
No, none at all. I have one more movie left. I watched House 2.
Oh, yeah.
The goofy one.
Yeah. So I love the first House movie. It's like one of my favorite like go-to horror movies to watch like at any time.
I love
to make me feel good inside. And the second one, I feel like I saw it when I was younger, but I didn't really remember it. And I rewatched it, and it is so goofy and corny, and like I just rolled my eyes for the 88-minute runtime or whatever it is. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't get into it, and I don't remember the third either, but I hear that one's just as goofy as the second one.
It's a lot worse.
Yeah, except worse. So I don't even know if I'm going to, but I hear 4 is actually, it takes it a little bit more
Stop.
seriously.
I already did this earlier this year. Don't do it.
Did you? Did you?
Yeah, I watched all the houses.
Oh, okay. So
Jason
They get mind-boggling.
He's a valuable resource for us here. He's doing the work for us.
yeah,
Oh, God, the work no one wants to do.
the good work. Yeah, I don't know. I have the Arrow release of the first 2, and I kind of regret buying the second one, but whatever.
It takes all the horror out, and it's just
It's just goofy.
slapstick.
Yeah, exactly.
Cliff
Like
Clavin's in that one, right?
Mhm.
Instead of
Yeah.
Norm.
Yes.
Yeah. And I don't know, because I love the first one. I love the first one because it is a horror movie and there is like some comedic relief in it. But this one is just like they went all for laughs, and not even like good laughs. They just went for like silly, goofy, shitty laughs, and I don't know. Not a fan.
I bet better laughs than Exorcism at 60,000 feet. I'm gonna lay that out there.
Doubtful.
It's been a long
Well-
time since I saw House 2.
I hate to spoil it for you in case you do go on, but in House 4, they bring back, what was it, William Catt,
Oh yeah,
but he's not the same character, but he has the same name, and he's in the house.
that's
It's so
Cool.
insane.
that's actually very intriguing.
It's
think
kind of
you-
awesome.
I think you've just encouraged me to watch it and track
It's
it down.
it's a mind-boggling choice.
I think Arrow put them all out. So now that I have the first 2, I might as well just get the other 2 just to be a complete.
Or you could buy 2 better movies.
Don't say I didn't warn
Out
you, Drew.
there.
Borrow them from somebody.
Yeah, like you don't have to buy all these. Many people just stream
It's an
movies.
addiction, Jack. Okay.
That's why they got those shelves. Damn it! Got to fill 'em.
Yeah. What you got, Jack?
Okay. So I watched Omen 3, The Final Conflict, because this is one that when it came out, I was dying to see it and I never saw it. I had to wait. And it was like, I think it was like when cable first came to our houses and my friend had this cable channel and I finally got to watch it, a couple of years after it came out because the commercials made it look so good. Sam Neill has grown up Damien. 1981.
Oh, Sam Neill. That's it.
He's a politician, right, or something? in that?
He's running Thorn Industries, and he becomes the ambassador to London or England, UK, which is what I think his father was in the first one. So yes, he's growing in power, and so one of the great things about the second movie is it picks up right after the first one, for a quick scene with the guy who gave the daggers to Gregory Peck. They deal with him first, and then it fast forwards to 7 years later when Damien's like 13. So now Damien is, I think he's 33 for the whole Christ thing. And basically, the daggers that were lost in the second movie are unearthed. And it's a bunch of Italian priests following Sam Neill around trying to stab Damien with the daggers that can kill, the only daggers that can kill him. And basically Sam Neill just kind of like not doing much, but every once in a while just kind of posing and looking to the side snidely. And then like a Rottweiler will attack somebody or something like that. it is a clear step down from way step down from the first one, and another step down because it's really not a whole lot happens in it, and the kills are there's like a cool fox hunt scene in it. The conclusion to the Antichrist trilogy is very lackluster, and
Not enough Christ. Too much Christ.
There's a little Christ, but like all it really is like there's like 7 daggers and 7 old Italian guys trying to stab him. It's not like a whole lot of competition.
A little Christ.
There's a little Christ. That should be a quote on a T-shirt.
Bless y'all. Bless y'all.
Little baby Jesus.
Get over here, little Christ.
And I'm thinking to myself, I know there was an Omen remake, and I don't remember how good or bad that was.
Love it.
But they were on to something. If you did a trilogy of the birth of the Antichrist, a 3-movie trilogy to his rise to power and everything, in the right hands, this could be a tremendous thing to take another crack at. Whether you call it the Omen or you call it something else, that's a great thing. And these movies started out great and fizzled out. The final conflict is a letdown as far as
I'm
what
surprised they
done.
haven't all been remade by this point, to tell you the truth. They will be.
So this is what I was going to say, Jason, is I watched these 3. Now there's an Omen 4 that I think went straight to TV, like cable or something like that I don't think I'm going to watch because I think it's not on Stars. I have to pay to watch it. And there's the remake with what's it? The guy was a Sabretooth.
Liev Schreiber.
Yeah.
Oh, Omen 4: The Awakening, 1991.
Yeah. So I'm not doing a full Jason Brandt on this. I think
it's got a 17% Rotten Tomato score, so that's pretty good.
3.9 out of 10.
I think I got to pay like $4 to watch it, and frugal horror fan won't go down that road.
That's not a path you're willing to travel.
Yeah, I'm not. I'll go find something else for free. So for that. So overall, I'm very happy to have watched the Omen trilogy and be up to date and know I watched them all. And again, when I was a kid, I really wanted to see it. I finally saw it, and I remember being not thrilled with it. And same thing, but now I'm glad that it's fresh in my head, and I can say, oh, okay, I'm up to speed on the Omen trilogy. So it was a very good week for watching. But just know, if you're going to do it's not the biggest waste of time to watch it, because Sam Neill looks perfect. Like, my God, he was the best guy to cast physically. They kind of wasted his talent in this. He should have done more. So that's missed opportunity.
Jack, there's a review that says Omen 4 was funny. It's like the Carol Burnett show. So if that doesn't get you to plunk down $4, I don't know what will.
Wow.
Sounds like a winner.
Tim Conway coming out.
What do you got, Hunter?
All right. Now, we all know how I crap all over watching comic book movies because I'm kind of done with superhero movies. Wish that Society would find something else to pin their hopes on. But I did grow up a comic book kid. So on Prime, there is Chris Claremont's X-Men. Now, I'm a Captain America freak. I mean, tattooed with it and stuff. But when Claremont took over the X-Men, and he ruled the X-Men empire at Marvel for 17 years, which I didn't realize. What he did with that team was like, that was my favorite. Some of my favorite story arcs were what he did and how he created. Like you said, he goes, I had this blank slate because it was a series that nobody wanted and it had been canceled a bunch of times. And he says, I got to do whatever I wanted. So he built up all these characters, even though a lot of them existed before, like Wolverine and Cyclops. He changed like their backstories, and it's really cool to watch. It's awesome. It's like he's there. The editors that worked with him are in it. The production quality is kind of chintzy, and I feel that kind of matches with the way he kind of got treated. Honestly, because he just kind of got kicked out after a while, and I don't think people give him as much credit as they should. I mean, I hear Frank Miller all the time, and I think Chris Claremont is freaking amazing.
Yep.
So if I watch it, just kept going, because when I was first married, I used to sell those X-Men to pay the rent. Like I could sell 2 and that would pay the rent. So I don't have them anymore. So I'm watching this going, oh my God, I want them back. So I might go buy like the trades just so I have them.
Yeah, who's the guy who draws the demon guy. What the hell's his name?
Hellboy.
No, with the white eyes like Spider-Man's with the cape.
Spawn. McFarlane.
McFarlane. McFarlane's name always comes up, but as one of the big giants of changing the industry, and that's right around the time where Claremont was. I think McFarlane may have done artwork for Claremont or whatever, but Claremont doesn't get mentioned like McFarlane does. And Claremont, I saw that documentary. I think I talked about it on the show a couple of years ago. That documentary is great. You're right; it's low budget, but it's a good story.
Still, and I love Jim Shooter. I used to like every time. I got to read Jim Shooter or something. Oh, that's what he looks like. Oh,
and I did because when I discovered Wolverine, it changed my life. I was like, "What? This guy?"
All I wanted to do was shred people with claws.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, if you grew up in the '80s and X-Men was your jam, you have to watch this. This like mandatory.
You said this was on Prime?
Yeah.
It's short too. It's only like an hour and 10 minutes or something.
Yeah, it's too short. I kind of want to
watch that and then the Fantastic Four documentary.
That's next on my list.
All right. Well, I decided because I hadn't watched enough crap, I was going to try a found footage movie that I'd never heard of.
Jesus Christ.
Surprisingly, it is a very, very interesting movie.
Oh, boy. That's not necessarily good.
This is not something I can recommend to a lot of people because they're going to hate the way it's shot because it's found footage. So the whole premise behind this is kind of crazy. It's a real life murder happened in, I think, 2017. A woman in Koreatown killed her boyfriend or husband. And the movie is based on a guy who lived in a few apartments away. And the murder really bothered him, and he sees the blood in the sidewalk, and he's walking around with his camera, and he feels like things aren't adding up with the murder and where the cops came in and where they arrested her and where the guy's body was. It's bothering him. And he starts talking to people around the area, all while holding a camera basically in their face. And you can tell these people are not actors, at least some of them. And in one shot, you can see him try to hand a guy money, and I'm pretty sure that was payment for being on camera.
Here's $1.
But and the camera work is maybe the shakiest I've ever seen in a found footage movie. It's not going to appeal to people because of the way it's shot.
And in this day and age, I mean, you think we're past that, you know?
So here's what's interesting about it is the reason they did that is because the guy is struggling personally with his life. Things are not going well for him. He's lost his job. He's having problems with his girlfriend. And the way it's shot is just like a dude who has nothing going on in his life is just walking out in the street and trying to solve some mystery he's created in his mind. And the filmmaking gets crazier as the movie goes and as this guy is trying to find clues and figure things out. And I can't say more because it would spoil it. But
please don't.
I'm telling you, I enjoyed this.
What was the name of it again?
It's called, I don't think I ever said it, Murder, Death, Koreatown.
Murder, Death, Koreatown.
Yeah, it was $2 or $3 on Prime. Almost nobody has seen it. There's only 21 ratings on IMDb.
Great title.
Yeah, so I don't know. If you don't like found footage, you're probably not going to like it right away. But this is a movie made for nothing that just, they kind of took the way these movies are shot and turned it into part of the story. And I liked it. I thought it was pretty good.
Is it short?
Yeah, I think it was only 80 minutes.
All right, that's in its favor right there.
But with keeping with it's just a guy, there's no writer, director, or actors listed on IMDb. There's just nothing about it.
So mysterious.
It's so mysterious. So I liked it. Murder, Death, Koreatown. If you like found footage, might be worth a couple bucks.
I'm looking it up now.
Anything else there, Tim?
Nope.
Jack?
Nope.
Hunter?
I'm spent.
2 seconds. I'm going to mention a free game on Steam called Deceit. And you join a server with, I want to say 6 other people. Maybe it's 8 other people. I can't remember. And 2 of you are monsters, but nobody can tell. You look like people. And the rest of you are humans. And the humans, and basically the game is trying to figure out who's a monster. Because once the lights go out, which happens every couple minutes, the monsters can transform and eat the survivors. And the goal of the game as a monster is to kill the survivors, and as the survivors, it's to escape. But most of it's trying to figure out who is who and trying not to get eaten, and you can find guns and things like that. This game is so much freaking fun if you're playing with friends, because you can just troll the ever-living shit out of the other people in the server. If one of you is the monster and one is not, you just don't tell anybody else that your friend is the monster, and they just beat the shit out of everybody. So
nice.
It's free. I've had a blast with it, so check it out. It's on Steam. Deceit. Good game.
Cheap, free, Steam.
A lot of fun.
Those should have been drinking words, not poop.
Yeah.
Corn.
All right, let's jump into the platform.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite. What comes to mind?
You know, for a writer, you said it wrong. You can jump onto a platform. You can't jump into a platform.
Fair
unless
enough.
it's concrete's not settled yet. You just
Kiss
pour
my
it.
ass.
For a douche, you're doing exactly what you usually do by pointing that out. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you. Good night.
Synopsizer?
Sir Synopser?
Synopsier?
You're talking to me?
Mm-hmm. What you got?
All right. So you know how Snowpiercer went this way? This is Snowpiercer, but it goes this way. So it's a prison with a square or a rectangle hole in the floor. And every morning, a bunch of chefs make a beautiful gourmet meal that they put on the platform, thus the title. And then it goes down every floor, and there are hundreds of floors. And it stops for, I think it's like 2 minutes at every floor. And the top people can eat as much as they want. And so when you're the higher up you are, the better off you are. And the lower it gets, the crappier it gets and the less there is. And so every month there's 2 people to a cell. And every month you wake up at a different floor. So you could be on the 6th floor one month and the 100th floor the next month. So there's a whole have and have not thing going on. And again, it's Snowpiercer in a prison that goes vertical.
Well put.
Less people, I guess.
Those
That
less
was the
people.
perfect way to describe it.
You know, Hunter always makes somebody else give their opinion of the movie after you give the synopsis, but I like you, so I'm going to let you go first.
Thank you. You noticed what a douche he can be. First of all, anybody who thinks that Exorcist 3 is better than Exorcist should turn in their horror card. Anyway, so
True.
if
I
you
agree.
could do the
My card
the
is
Joker-
laminated in amber, motherfucker.
It's
Try it,
laminated and it's laminated in something that you can mop.
Oh,
Semen?
yeah. I want it clean.
All right, the movie critic in me says this is a very good movie.
But the little kid in you says,
The fan in me was kind of checking my watch a little bit and going, okay, I recognize a good movie, but is it the most entertaining movie in the world? No. So I thought it was okay. I thought, like I said, it's a good movie. It's like, you know, when you talk about the difference between the best movies of the year and your favorite movies of the year, it would rank higher for me on best movies of the year than it would on my favorite movies of the year. That said, it's not that I disliked it. It's just that I wasn't like in love with it. That's my short answer.
All right. Tim?
So I
All right. Frozen Tim.
Rose? And?
it killed
Yeah.
him. Oh my God, it's terrible.
Hunter.
All right, I'll step in. I'd watched this, I think, a week or so before you guys did and suggested you give it a twirl. It's a difficult movie to watch because there is, after a while, I start to feel like I'm in that prison. You know what I mean? But look, it's a metaphor for politics and social class and the economy and all this stuff. And there were so many gross parts that I thought were cool. And it would happen. I mean, I see it happen now with just something like the COVID-19. And it's like, hey, yeah, I just finished eating what I could, and now I'm going to spit on the food for the next schmuck, knowing that I'm eating pee and spit.
They could have put toilet paper on that platform, and it would be a perfect analogy for what just happened the past 2 months.
Yeah. as the movie went on, I got sucked in more and more, and I just kept going, "What the hell is going on here?" I mean, I really enjoyed it. This might make my list by the end of the year. And Jack, I feel the same way you do. I think technically it's a really, really good movie. Is it something I want to revisit often? No, but maybe that's because I see too much of ourselves in this. I don't know. So, and it made me think a while. Actually, movies don't usually do that very often. So, I dug it.
Tim, how about round number 2?
Oh, all right. Hopefully I don't freeze this time. So I also enjoyed it for a lot of the reasons Hunter said. It was for the first like half hour, I was on the edge of my seat for this movie. And then they kind of like flip-flopped it. It's almost a movie that had like two different heads. Like one head, it was like really, really intense, and then it slowed down and got kind of weird and inconsistent at times. But I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I loved all like the political, like metaphors and stuff like that. So I enjoyed it. I'm a fan, big fan of it.
Yeah,
I enjoyed this too. I was not very interested in watching it because just watching the trailer, I was like, "Oh God, here comes the politics."
the trailer's
Love
terrible.
this
So.
in my movies, and it did get a little preachy and on the nose a few times, but overall, this is a movie that you could just watch and not know anything about what they're talking about and just enjoy it as a cool idea. Almost like Cube, where it's in one space and people are trying to figure out, what to do. It's kind of shot in a similar manner. So I ended up really liking it. Now that you're talking about it, at the beginning, I was really in. Like, oh, this is kind of a cool idea. And he's describing everything. And then in the middle, when it should get more intense because of what's happening on screen, it feels less intense somehow. It's kind of a weird thing that happens. But overall, I enjoyed it. Even it's one of those movies that is overtly political, but it wasn't. It's a good movie at the same time, so I can just watch it and enjoy it for that. So I liked it.
I've read that they shot this movie in chronological order, so the main actor is literally starving to death. Like he lost a ton of weight as they went through. He was essentially starving himself. Yeah, kind of cool.
No,
I like that commitment.
Did you guys watch this movie dubbed or with subtitles, or did you watch it?
So I have a thing about
Subtitles.
that. I was hoping you'd bring it up actually. I can't stand the Netflix dubs, English dubs. I can't stand it. So I switch it to Spanish. I switched it to the European Spanish version, and I just watched it with subtitles because I can't stand the dub.
Yeah, you know what? These people are actors, and they're there at the moment acting. And when you take that voice away, you're losing a whole half of what they're trying to do.
It changes the whole perspective of the movie, I think, when you do that.
Yeah, I never watch dubbed. I do not like dubbed, and it's because of the acting. I feel like it just takes away. So I always watch subtitled.
So I watched it dubbed because I didn't realize that it was a foreign language film, and I got like 10 minutes in. Excuse me. And so at that point, I was like, I'm not switching. It's fine. So I watched it dubbed.
You know,
How
it's
are all the
weird.
voices?
It was fine.
Oh, you! I want your food!
That's
It
the
may be
Mexican
better.
version I thought it was, not the Spanish. Not the Spanish.
It may be better because I don't know if I was in the right mindset to. It's a very heavy subject matter to begin with, and I don't think I was in the mood for that kind of movie to begin with. And I think if I'd been having to read it too, I don't know if I would have made it through the whole thing. So I think I needed a little help
Here's a
watching it.
testament to this movie. I started watching it alone at 11 o'clock at night
Damn.
and was there to the very end, which for me, usually need to bring out the circus clowns to keep me up.
Well, speaking of the subtitles, there is so much dialogue in this movie. You cannot look away for 1 second.
True.
It is just constant speaking. So if your phone went off and you look down, it's like, shit, I got to rewind it. I have no idea what they just said.
Yeah, I think that's why watching it late helped me because there was nothing else for me to do. I just had to sit there and watch it.
Anything anybody want to bring up before we hit spoilers that you did or did not get into?
I mean, the violence and the gore and the brutality, I think, were excellent. I mean, jarring sometimes, and that's if you don't like if you think it's too boring, stick for these just unbelievably brutal scenes.
Do you think this is a movie you could refer a normie to? Because the political aspect of it, the timeliness of it, seems like there'd be people out there that would appreciate. Because it's really more of a sci-fi movie with some gore than a horror movie.
I think normies are too busy trying to figure out, how'd that platform go up and down? It's not supported by anything.
It's foreign language. That automatically gets rid of 99.9%.
Yeah. So no, I wouldn't recommend this to a normie. Mm-mm.
Definitely not. But yeah, I thought what was interesting was the violence that was being done to people. A lot of it is either not on the screen or it's very quick cuts. It's not like a gore fest kind of movie, but it kind of tricks your mind into thinking it is. Because a lot of times you see the aftermath more than the actual violence, but the aftermath is horrific.
Yeah.
So it feels maybe more intense than a lot of what they actually shot. It's well done.
I'm surprised they didn't put a warning on it about the dog. They warn everything else nowadays.
I was like, I'm glad my wife didn't watch this with me. Ring that bell, baby.
Spoiler alert.
Poop free.
So, did anybody see the way he decides to break the system as being what he was going to do? Because I did not, but right at the beginning, I thought, why don't you just get on the freaking table and just, it goes back up.
Yeah, he wouldn't be the first person to get on the table, but it goes up really fast.
It does. Fast. Yeah, that would be my concern. Like when he has the girl on there, I'm like, you got to make sure she's laying down because her neck might break.
Yeah, it's a supernatural platform. I thought in the end when the girls were racing up, like when it would go where it has to stop, she would continue shooting up into the ceiling and just be plastered up there.
Yeah. I thought, what do you think about the end where he goes to, I don't know, like the basement and there's just nothing there and he's just kind of walking into the darkness? I was like,
what? Like, does he die at the end? And
well, I think he's dead because his former cellmate is down there and that guy was dead.
But he'd been seeing that guy's ghost the whole time. So was he just seeing the ghost and staying in there, or is it he finally dead and joining him? I took it as he died and joined him. But
that's the way I took it too, because he was so grievously wounded. I mean,
yeah, he was messed up.
How much further could he go? And by the way, I was starving for some panna cotta when that was done. This is the message, the panna cotta, the
message.
There was a lot of emphasis put on the escargot. I cannot remember if I've ever actually had escargot. If I have, it's been so long I don't remember.
Never had it.
In hell, I would eat that.
No?
No. A snail? No. Jesus Christ.
Why not?
We put salt on those things. Watch them curl up.
Haven't you ever seen It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia with the snail?
Yeah, Gail the snail.
Yeah, no, not my thing. But yeah, I thought that was an interesting food choice to choose as the message. And I kept going, what the hell is the message here?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it's because that's a fancy food or I don't know.
Yeah, I guess continuing the Snowpiercer comparison, very similar theme going on here. And again, I think this movie's fine, but I was more entertained by Snowpiercer because it's got like an action adventure thing going on.
Yeah.
Where this was kind of, I guess it's a contained story in one place with this heavy, like there's a lot of great intense stuff going on here. But just like from an entertainment standpoint, I think I was getting fatigued by it after a while.
It's dreary.
Yeah, it's dreary.
Like I said, I felt like I was in the prison with them after a while.
Yeah.
Tim, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to say with the whole like the symbol or the message or whatever they were trying to send, I feel like that's where.
Did his mic cut out for you guys?
Yeah, we can't hear you, Tim.
Really?
Somebody's sabotaging you tonight, man.
Now we can hear you.
Oh, okay. I'm back. I don't know what's going on. goddamn Comcast internet.
Jersey
Uh,
Devil.
Yeah, where did I leave off at? I don't even know.
The message.
Oh yeah, the message is where it kind of lost me a little bit, just because it was I don't know, it was just like too heavy on it, and I kind of got confused a little bit by it. What you were saying before is it's not a movie you can like look away from and come back to because you miss so much in the dialogue. So I don't know, I must have missed something somewhere because I definitely lost my enthusiasm for it. But the first half hour was super intense, and I was really into it. I really enjoyed that part.
Can we talk about the guy getting crapped on?
That's
Yes.
where I wanted to go next.
Oh, man.
Did not see that coming.
No.
Literally.
Glad I didn't smell it coming.
You brought it up. How about you describe this amazing scene for us?
So you can bring one item with you. One guy brings a dog. Our main character brings Don Quixote, which has.
If you're going to be in prison
ramifications.
for a long time, that's a good book to bring. I'll take
You
that.
might.
One guy brought a surfboard, and the guy who ends up being his partner when they ride the platform down brought a rope. And so his intention is like, I think he's only on the sixth floor or something, but he tries to go up,
Yeah.
and he expects that the people above him are going to help him. But just as he gets to the top, somebody sticks their butt over the edge, and I guess it's a drinking word, poops on him.
Right in his face.
Right,
Lots
it's a
of copious
couple of like
poop.
Tootsie Rolls just bouncing off his face.
Oh, it's horrendous.
But I was like, literally, I was like, did that guy really just poop on him? Like,
Yeah.
that is so.
Yeah, when that happened, I said, "Oh, half of Germany's rejoicing." Scheitzer movies, Scheitzer movies.
So the question, was it real shit? Like, did they actually poop on him? Because it
That's
looks
what I was
pretty.
wondering.
It looks
Even
pretty
eaten
real.
well.
It's
Like,
It,
incredibly well done
bounces.
effect.
It bounces pretty much. Like, it didn't smush. So, but I don't know what the
Man.
people on level 5 are eating. I don't know how much fiber they're getting. So.
Yeah, you don't know. It was the consistency was a little weird, but like it was believable.
It
Well-
broke that guy's spirit so quickly too. he was all amped to climb that rope, and when he came back down, he was done.
Yeah, and he's like,
Were there
"Fuck that
toilets in the cell? I didn't even notice.
shit." There's like a little bathroom area because they were
a
like,
sink.
It was a sink,
Yeah.
but I don't know if I saw. It was like the Brady Bunch. They never showed the toilet.
Yeah, I don't remember a toilet actually. Good point.
By the way, if they were eating a lot of panna cotta, that is made of cream, sugar, and gelatin.
Mm.
So that could make for a very loose stool if you're eating a lot.
Hmm.
Good
also
st-
saw a lot of fish on that spread.
That's just such nastiness.
Yeah,
Had they made that movie in 3D, that would have been the best scene in the movie.
Oh. I love that scene when the old man, like, he's rushing to eat the stuff when he's finished, like the platform starts ascending, he like chucks a bone, just goes and just spits on it. I'm
yeah,
Yeah,
like, fuck
Ugh.
those guys. They're below us. Who cares?
yeah. I liked when he said, "Because I want them to eat it," and then 2 seconds later, he's bitching about when he was on a lower floor and those bastards were doing it to him. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah, that guy.
People.
He was the epitome of people today, where
Mhm.
it's everybody else's fault and everybody else sucks.
Hmm.
yeah, totally. He's like literally doing what he's bitching about. Like, wow,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
What was the word that he owned? Was it obviously?
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah,
Obvio.
obvio.
That was a good piece of writing, actually. I liked the dialogue between those two in particular. I thought
Yeah.
that was well done.
Yeah, that was one of the reasons why I loved the first like half hour of the movie with them, and it was just intense, and you didn't know like what he was gonna do because the old guy had said that he'd been down there before, and when they actually go down, what level was it, like 178 or something, which is not a place you want to be.
Yeah.
And he has him like tied up. I thought that was like really intense. Like you don't know where this movie's going. I didn't know anything about it really, so I didn't know that like I was like the main character and that's kind of who we're going to be following. So like I kind of felt for that guy.
Dude, when he rode that thing and they were riding it down, I'm like, is they going into hell?
Yeah,
Well,
it just kept
that's-
going.
333 levels with 2 people in each level. So there's your 666.
Like, man, the things they were seeing, the further they went down. But that's good. Yeah, you know what? Numerology. It's religious. Big
Yeah,
time.
look at that. So the part you were talking about when he's tied up, from when he saved for maybe the next act of the film, like people are being eaten and all this
Yeah.
crazy shit is happening, and it felt way less intense than the first part.
Yeah, isn't that weird? Like that's what I mean. This movie was like so many different things. It was just weird.
Yeah, it was like the build-up was more intense than the
You
action.
bring up a good point. That might be part of what I was going through, was because when it first starts, you're really curious as to what's going on, how it's going to work, and everything, and it gets really intense. And then you're right. There's a lot of heavy stuff going on later in the movie, but it kind of slows, and I don't know. Maybe there was a pacing problem with it or something.
Yeah,
like
I
that.
feel like each act was like its own contained movie almost, because they felt very different from each other, from like that first opening act, and then when he meets the woman with the dog, and then we kind of get a little bit of backstory. We start learning a little bit more about the society and the association, and then the last act is him and that other guy trying to stick it to the association. So it felt like three distinct separate entities.
Yeah.
Like it was weird. It's almost like three
Because once they
three
start
different
writing
episodes of a TV show.
Yeah, when they start writing the thing down, it picks up again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is a tale of each roommate he has, I guess. So
Yeah, kind of.
That
Yeah.
doesn't impact the story. Or show.
Yeah. It does. Anything else anybody want to bring up?
No.
I think
We brought up the poop, the spitting, the panic coda. I mean, what more can we possibly talk
poop
about?
scene has to. It should be a GIF on Twitter.
Were any of you eating
to
dinner
work.
when you watched this?
I actually was eating. I
Ugh.
ate a quesadilla while I was watching.
Oh,
this
even
movie.
better.
Yeah.
Beef.
No, shrimp.
Was anybody pooping while I watched this?
No.
That's how I
Nope.
always watch my movies.
Yeah. On the bowl.
This movie was so sticky. Did you guys feel like you were sticky afterwards from all like the blood, like the dried blood, and then all the food and
The food. It's gross. It's
It felt like I rolled around a movie theater floor after like Toy Story 3 got out or something.
How did you like the description when the guy told him how he was going to eat him, but he wanted to keep him fresh, so he wasn't going to kill him?
That was so awesome.
Yeah.
That's what I was like, oh, that is the most terrifying
And
thing in the world.
he said he was gonna keep him alive by feeding him like scraps of himself.
of
Yeah.
himself.
That was
That'll
awesome.
work.
That was actually probably my favorite part of the movie.
They should do that with people on death row.
All right, and as per every episode, you had to take it too far.
You take it too far. Fuck them. Jesus Christ.
What if they're innocent?
Anyway.
So if we're
Oh,
done,
well.
our movie next week is The Wretched. Is that correct?
Yep.
Is that what it was called? Yeah.
Which
The
is-
Wretched.
looks like it's available on Prime Video. So
I'm going to the drive-in to see it. Woohoo!
Ooh.
Oh, I don't know if I have a drive-in around me anymore. I should look into that.
We've got one 60 miles away, which is close enough.
All right. Until next time, when we're talking Wretched, I'll see you next time. Jesus, I need to get out of here.
We're
Bon
going to see Little
appetit.
Jesus next time?
Little Jesus?
Little Jesus.
Big Jesus next time. Big Jesus.
Fat Jesus from
All right, guys.
Hangover.
Catch you later.
See ya.
Bye.
later.
Game over.